Well, I'm wondering also, because obviously your father is notorious for teasing runs for president, and he's gotten me excited and then dashed my hopes, a couple times now.
Sorry.
And I was just wondering if you had any insight into what went down with the whole Green Party thing. Like, was he really seriously trying to get that Green Party nomination, or do you think it was more of just like a publicity thing? Or I'm just interested because to me, I was kind of pissed off by the Green Party, how they didn't seem to welcome him with open arms, despite the fact that he would have brought the Green Party so much credibility or so much credence, so much attention. He would have energized people to sign up for it. It would have really been a big, boon.
And to be honest, we asked the Green Party about it when we had, or we didn't ask the Green Party. We asked Howie Hawkins himself on the show, because I think at one point he offered the nomination to Bernie Sanders, sort of, and then pretended he didn't, and then whatever also, that was.
And also, what pissed me off about Howie Hawkins' answer was he really just reduced your father to. He was like, well, we could nominate a celebrity, but I'm like. Jesse Ventura has actually held office.
Won an election.
Howie Hawkins was never actually an elected official. Jesse Ventura was a governor of a state. Like, what do you mean he's just a celebrity? This is a successful, third-party candidate. What are you talking about? This man is, this is the path forward for a third-party movement. If you want it, it's right here in front of you. But I was just wondering if you had any insight. Sorry to keep talking.
Oh no, that was one of those tough decisions for Jesse, because every time Jesse says something, he doesn't do something just for publicity. If he says he's curious and is interested in running for president, he's curious and interested in running for president. He doesn't do things for clicks because, well, for one, he doesn't own a computer. He doesn't know how to operate a computer, so. There's that. But he's vowed that he'll never own a cell phone in his life, and he's kept true to that word. What happened with that was it was a lot of different factors involved. When he yes, he came into the, when he was really seriously considering running, it was late in the nominate, or about halfway through the nomination process. So that's always a little trickier had he, decided to do that earlier. But he also felt like, look, I'm also, like, as you just said, I'm a proven candidate who's won. I'm not just somebody deciding to jump on the ticket for the sake of being on the ticket. So let's really sit down and talk about, getting behind me and doing this and making this work. And he really, he has love for the Green Party. He likes their principles. He likes what they stand for. My father's a huge environmentalist. People forget that when he ran for mayor before governor and was mayor of the 6th largest city in the state of Minnesota, he ran because a developer was trying to destroy wetlands and was essentially using the city council as a rubber stamp to do that. And in fighting that, even though the entire city, the entire area where this was going to happen, petitioned city council saying we do not want them to put in curb and gutter and destroy the natural wetlands of the area, they said no. And that's when my father said, you're going to make me run for mayor. And then they said, you can't win. And he ended up beating a 56-year incumbent.
Holy shit.
That kind of parts of Jesse's history that people don't really remember. But what happened with that was there were some personal things that not involving politics or any of that kind of came up that in the era of COVID and things like that Jesse knew, it would be harder to do. I mean, because of the rules of our elections and things like that, obviously, you can't really be working another job and that other job where he, has healthcare and things like that. You would have to have abandoned his healthcare
which is just such a layer for everybody, right? And we talk about this on the show. It just shows how deep the gravity of the situation is. Obviously, your father's an individual with means to, and if a regular average working class person was, obviously they would face the same problem. It just shows, how insulated the political class is in this country.
Yeah. And he couldn't, and that was one of a few reasons that it just kind of became this thing of, it just really didn't pan out. There was just a lot of, and then he discovered how much kind of, I guess, infighting was going on within the Green Party. And it just kind of became a something to where it's like, in his mind, it's like, we either got to be 100% as a party or we're not. And if we're not, we're never going to beat the other two candidates. The thing that he learned from running in Minnesota under the Reform Party ticket, then later, became independent and all that, was that the entire Reform Party ticket in Minnesota was unified behind him. And if you don't have that sense of unification behind the candidate that you're going to run, regardless of whether that's Jesse Ventura or Howie Hawkins or whoever that may be, it's going to be, you can't win as a third party because that when everything's, like I mentioned earlier, when everything's tribalized then within the party, like you're never gonna